Welcome to the first live-on-demand event in Norway. You have crowdfunded a full day of lean startup inspiration with Ries.
So today we ask the question, have effective organizations killed innovation?
So I'm also here to support Live on Demand because this is kind of a TED Talk 2.0 version. And on Friday, the ambassador of Netherlands, because you all know Live on Demand comes from Netherlands, she came to my office with a cup of coffee and huge posters of Live on Demand finally coming to Norway. And I think this is the exact way we want ambassadors to act. We want them to be curious. We want them to be the best ambassadors for the new startups that are coming from their countries. So today, I'm just going to give you some perspectives on the Norwegian situation.
So today is a very special day. The next speaker hardly needs an introduction. His best-selling book, The Lean Startup, has changed the way the world thinks about innovation.
Whoa, the lights are bright. Hi, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here, and thank you. This is my first time in Norway, so I feel very welcome. Thank you very much. I said, okay, interesting. And so they showed the projections. Here's the currently approved plan, and they put up a slide on the page that I will never forget as long as I live. It was the revenue forecast by year for this new product for the next 25 years. And now keep in mind, this is a bar chart. You can imagine the bars going, right? So the first 5 bars on the page are blank. No bars at all, because we're going to be developing this product for 5 years and we're losing money. No customers, no nothing, just 5 blank bars. And then the bars started to really get exciting. I don't know, the numbers were so large, I couldn't even really process them. You know, first you make $1 billion and you're making $10 billion, then just up and to the right, that beautiful hockey stick shaped curve of revenue. And I remember saying to them, listen, I don't know anything about fracking, but this, now we're talking about something I'm very familiar with. So now step into my office. Now we're entering my realm of expertise. Because in Silicon Valley, we make this plan all the time. I'm very familiar with this plan. I have personally created this chart many, many, many times. Right, in most parts of polite society, I assume this is true in Norway as much as in the United States, if you go around claiming that you can predict the future, people will look at you funny. Unless you're in a corporate boardroom, in which case then it makes you sound very serious and professional. Oh yeah, of course I can predict the future of the next 25 years. As I learned more about the oil business, I learned how even more ridiculous it is to think you can't even predict what oil prices will be next year, let alone 25 years from now. So sorry, my apologies. What I meant was one individual unit, not one line of units. Well, actually, now the engineering mind starts to work in my favor. The engineers say, well, you know, first they were like, well, if you didn't need the supply chain, I guess we could have a prototype done in 2 years. And then another engineer says, I think we could do it in 18 months. And so I think we could do it in 12 months. And then one of them said, you know, actually we're required to do a prototype as part of our testing process anyway. So actually 6 months from now, we would probably have something relatively functional. And one of the engineers says, you know, actually, if you were willing to pick one of the use cases and not the others, in this one in particular, we actually already have a piece of equipment that's very similar to its performance characteristics. We could probably have that, and I'm starting to think, oh, this is good. We could be done in 90 days, and then the other is just, well, if you're using an existing piece of equipment, we could get it done in 30 days. And it's like, this time is just, we're going from 5 years, collapse. I'm getting pretty excited.
Thank you.
Finally able to get Ries to Norway. Yeah, I'm satisfied. I'd say we have been waiting for a couple of years, or more than that. Okay. Yeah.
Enlightening, and I think the biggest important is getting out of the office, thinking and learning from the examples of others, and then taking those kinds of experiences back into the office.
Yeah. So I'm in Copenhagen. Obviously, we have to get Eric to Copenhagen as well. I met him for the first time 3.5 years ago, so I really want to get him to Copenhagen. I think that's the first priority for us.
Okay, cool.
So, and in everyday practice, do you use Lean Startup methodology at Telenor?
Yeah, we try to. It's important for us to try to actually find out what our customers are doing. So we don't want to just go off into a bunker and come back 2 years later and say, here it is.
Okay.
Certainly, he's a very inspiring guy. He actually wrote the book.